Hey, how y'all doing out there in Facebook land? I wanted to just hop on, not real quick, I'm not going to use that term, but I just wanted to get on the live post because generally I go back and forth trying to, I would say, coincide with doing my radio show along with posting my videos of my discussions as it relates to relationships for singles. And so today, like I did a couple of days ago, I just decided to bring you guys into my world. Hey, how you doing? How you doing today? I just wanted to bring some of you into my world today because we're going to talk about bags, boxes, and shoe boxes. I always, get these crazy revelations, and I wanted to share it with all of you today as I begin to get ready to go on to my radio show. And so I just wanted to, let me give y'all a backdrop before I hit y'all with the 1 and 2s, okay? Pretty much the Lord began to deal with me as it relates to the seasons that we're in. And also, the Lord began to speak to me about getting rid of some clothes and different things like that. Now, I know you guys may see I am in my closet. And I get a little, I feel like I get a little bit more crystal clear sound for my radio show when I'm in a really closed-in place. And those of you that have family members that may be into, the music or doing different types of things, they tend to go into a place where it's close quarters. And so today, I just wanted to bring y'all in with me because I feel like right now in the season that we're in as singles, we need to continue to encourage one another. We need to continue to speak about the things that silently some of us may be thinking or don't want to say. There's a lot of things that probably will never be spoken of from a single person because they feel like people may think it's something stupid, a bad, it doesn't make sense. Why should I feel like this or whatever the case may be? But today's topic is going to be interesting, so just stay tuned, okay? I'm going to hit you with my topic today is called bags, gift boxes, and shoe boxes. And why is that? I'm going to let you know in a few minutes, so stay tuned, okay? I'm about to go on, okay? All right, y'all ready? All right, let's go. Well, hey, what's going on out there? Welcome to Vera's radio show, where my topics is always crazy, filled with laughter, relevant topics, and relationship discussions is who I'm all about. All right, let's get into it today. Today's topic is about bags, gift boxes, and shoe boxes. Now, why did I pick that topic? Well, for one, dealing with relationships as a whole, when you deal with relationships, you deal with a bag. The bag is closed up. You don't know what's in the bag. It comes with a lot of things that you could not have even imagined that would even be in the bag. Sometimes you open up that bag, right? When you're dealing with relationship, you find a person who is not trustworthy, someone who's untruthful, someone who lies, someone who cheats, someone who's living a double life. You just never know what you're getting. And so inside of a bag, you can't see inside of the bag because it's covered up. It's dark. And that's just like some of us. It could be a male or female. As it relates to singleness and relationships, it all is just something that you go through. It's all about the process. You just never know what you're going to get. And so in the season of Christmas coming up, I figured as singles, we need to give ourselves the biggest gift that we could possibly give. And what is that? The gift of goodbye. Oh, yeah, I said it. The gift of goodbye. What is that? Well, the gift of goodbye is to settle in your mind, to settle in your spirit that you're going to get rid of all of the toxic mindsets and the lies that you tell yourself and the conversations that you have over and over with yourself about the same things over and over. I don't care how old you are. I know a lot of people, we're talking in their 60s. We're talking about people even in their 20s who've had their heart broken and they continue to talk about the same thing all the time. How do I know that? Oh my goodness, because I've been there. I've been there a time or two. I recall now looking back in my 20s and I had girlfriends that I confided in. And you know how we all like to share about our relationships when you're young. You're learning about life, right? When you're 15, you're 16, you're trying to learn about, hey, Does he like me? What are the signs that he likes me? Hey, what should I do after I get him? After we finally, hey, say I like you, you like me. Now we go down this rabbit hole of trying to find out about this thing called love, or trying to find out this thing called relationships, right? Back in the day, it was just passing the paper back and forth. Hey, do you like me? Sign yes or no, right? Circle yes or no. It's all in the fundamentals of relationships, right? We all been there. But now what do you do after you have gotten in your late 20s, your 30s, your 40s? Oh my God, now you're in your 50s. How do you handle life? What do you do now that you have all this baggage on you? You know, that very familiar song by Erykah Badu. Everybody knows it, right? The Bag Lady song, right? But I can actually say it's for the men too, right? Talk about bag lady, you gon' hurt your back. Dragging all them bags like that. Come on now. I guess nobody ever told you all you must hold on to is you, it's true. Come on now, y'all know. The only thing you got to really hold on to is yourself today. Not any longer, I pray that you will not go forward holding on to the memories of what was, the memories of yesterday. You see, let me just paint you a little picture, because I always like to give people imagery. I don't like to come on any airways or social media pretending that I have it all together. I've been down the rabbit hole a time or two myself. And being in ministry, I've dealt with all types of issues. I mean, I've counseled people who are going through marital issues, even when I was going through marital issues myself. I've dealt with people who decided that they wanted to get married, but they didn't want to go through the counseling process of it all. So lo and behold, guess what? I found out that they're not together today. Why? Because they didn't want to do the work, because there was bags of things that they did not want to deal with. So, you know, in times like this, especially with the holidays, gifts, they cost a lot, right? Sometimes we contemplate, I really don't know if I want to buy that gift. But see, this gift right here that you're going to give yourself is going to be priceless, but at the same time, it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you the fact that you have to take time to dig deep, to go through all of the bags, to take out stuff that no longer suits your life, that no longer will you carry in the memories, in the crevices of your mind. Because in the bags have issues, things that were hidden, things that were tucked away, things that you don't understand, and things that you're still trying to wrap your mind around that happened way in the past, but yet you still dragging those bags everywhere you go. Oh, I know what I'm talking about. Yes, I do. Here's an example. I just moved into a new home. Now, I knew I was moving, right? But it took me up until the point where I was about to move into my house. Now, someone had already given me a heads up. They said, listen, you're planning on moving. So one of the things that you need to do is start unloading things now. Start unpacking, start purging, start going to take things to the recycling bin. Do these things prior to you having to move, because if you don't, you're going to drag this stuff with you. Now, I had gotten wise counsel. Oh, yes, I did. Someone had already told me what to do. Did I do it? Nope. I did not do it. I did some, but I didn't do all of the purging that I needed to do. And you know what happened? I ended up bringing bags with me, filled with things. Some things I didn't even remember. I didn't even know what it was. I opened up the bags and I was like, where did this come from? I bought unnecessary bags that took up all this extra space in my closet. And I kept saying, I'm going to clean it. I'm going to get through it, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to give it away. And it took me a long time, right? But I ended up doing it. It was a mindset change. It was me understanding that there were bags that I had to deal with. And this is what I wanted to talk about. The bags, they are the issues. They are the things, the cheating, the lies, all the things, the confusion, all of those things that you need to deal with. And when you have those things, right, you begin to go in and pull back stuff, right? And say, oh, I remember this and I remember that. You begin to open up the bags, right? When you're getting ready to purge and you say to yourself, oh, I remember this. It takes your mind back. When you begin to open up the bags and look at things in there. I remember when I was in my 20s and I had moved and I had this, one of my cousins, one of my male cousins, I loved him to pieces. And I recall I was moving and he said to me, listen, you're looking in every bag. Now you're going to stand here wasting so much time. So what you really need to do is just take the bag and throw it out. Now I got a little bit offended because he was taking my bags and he was just chucking them. He said, you haven't looked at them in all these years. Just throw the stuff out. I was a little offended, but let me tell you what it did for me. What it did for me was I recalled that memory of out of sight, out of mind. I hadn't opened the bags in so long, but yet they were there. I knew that they were there. And when I would open up the bag, it would bring me back to a memory. It would bring me back to a time. And sometimes you think about those who have children and you may see like a little picture of something that your child made you when they were little. And it takes your mind back to those times when you were a mother, raising a child, or for a male figure, in other words, if they're going to be looking at things that their children have made them over the years, they're going to begin to have what? Flashbacks. You're going to begin to dig deep down into the crevices of I remember when, right? You're going to begin to look at that and say, oh, so it attracts that emotion. It takes you back to that time. And in relationships, I'm going somewhere with this. In relationships, it does the same thing. If you don't get rid of the bags, you will continue to rehash the situations, the circumstances, the events, all of the things that took place. You will continue to play a major role in the chapter and in the story that you're visualizing. I know it to be true because I recall way back in the day, if I would have known better, I probably would have went back maybe a couple of years in my 20s, and I probably would have slapped my own self. I was always talking about what they did, what she did, what he did, what the dog did, what the cat, the dog, the pig did, but I never took responsibility for myself. And when you're at that stage where you're still emotionally tied, and this is what I want to talk about, just pretty much the emotional attachment, when we need to really be saying we need to have the gift of goodbye to some things. And I know for some, it may have been traumatizing to the point that they will probably argue with me and say, well, I can't forget it. And people use the phrase, well, I'll forgive you, but I can't forget it. I beg to differ as I've gotten older, because it is a matter of your own mindset. It is a matter of your own opinion. It's a matter of your own thought process. So it's all about what you want to do with all of the bags, the gift boxes, and the shoe boxes. Now, I know you're saying probably, okay, well, that sounds good. Yeah, I can rock with you when you talk about the bags, and I've dealt with the issues, and yeah, I may have rehearsed some things with my family and my friends, but I was just trying to vent because it was hurting me. It was really bothering me, and every now and then someone may bring up something and I'll decide maybe to bring it up. That's a sign that you haven't let it go. That is a sign that you're still recycling the bag of trash that you should have taken out and allowed for the garbage man to take away. Now, some of you out there are dealing with trauma. And trauma is something where, because of a traumatic experience in your life, it's triggers. Things will trigger the reason why you go back to that place. You see, I recall dating a few guys, and one of the things I remember from a particular person is, if you go driving along past a certain place, here they go. Come on, going back down memory lane. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, I remember. Oh, Joe used to dance like so-and-so. Oh, I remember. Oh, Kathy used to bake me a nice old pound cake. You know, my ex-girlfriend used to bake me a pound cake. She used to do this and she used to do that. That is rehashing what has happened. And if you're trying to, let me give you a little food for thought for those of you out there that are trying to or attempting to start life over, and you say you want a relationship with someone new. If you bring Kathy, Karen, Sue, Peggy, Shaquita and them into your relationship, it's not gonna go too well. If you continue to keep that bag in your closet, you're always going to open the door and you're going to see it sitting there. Oh, I know what I'm talking about. You're always going to open that door and you're going to see it sitting. You're going to see it sitting right there. Because it is all about a choice for you to let that go. You see, a lot of times we don't want to take full responsibility. We don't want to set borders around our mind. And some of you may have never thought about it, but you can put boundaries around you to keep you from going back in that place. What we do is we blame everyone, we blame the person or the persons for what happened, right? Here's how we start off with a story. Well, what had happened was they did this and they did that, and I'll never forget it. But what we don't understand is by taking full responsibility for being a voluntarily person. You volunteered. You signed up for the shenanigans. You signed up to be involved with that person. And you see, I remember the day when I came to that realization, I stopped playing the victim. I stopped blaming others, and I started saying, well, you know, I did sign up for that. I went over there and signed on the dotted line that I would marry so-and-so. Or I decided, yep, I want to be with this person. And so we get involved, and what we don't do is we don't release that person mentally from our mind. We keep a hold of them. We keep them in prison. And it's not fair to that person. That person, we hear it all the time. It's a cliche. Well, you still holding on to this person in your head and they've moved on. Y'all done seen that play out time and time again. I know you have. I know you've seen it play out. Maybe you've gone to an event and you see, oh, Mr. Old Boo thing with his new Miss Boo thing. They moved on. They ain't thinking about you. They ain't worried about nothing that you're doing while you're sitting over there and you're being tormented by your own self. You are doing a self-infliction to yourself. You're inflicting yourself for staying in the past and not letting it go. This is the part right here, okay, where we're talking about the bags, right? When you recognize that, all right, he cheated on you. Okay, so what? All right, he left you with 15 kids and you living out there in an RV. Okay, all right, you finished telling your story? Are you done? Are you done telling your story, right? Are you done talking about what they did to you? Are you done? Okay, now dry your eyes and move on. Now, here's someone I can feel him. What you mean, just move on? I can't just move on. I'm sitting here taking care of these kids by myself. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Did you forget another factor was you? You made a decision. Now deal with it. Put your big girl drawers on, your thongs, whatever you wearing now. If you ain't wearing nothing, get yourself up. Shake yourself. Get up, man or woman, and stop blaming others for a decision that we all have made. It's time for you to take responsibilities. Release that person. Release the feelings that you had. All the negative things. I've done it. I recall talking about, oh, boo-boo, he did this, he did that, and this is this and this and that, and blah, 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 blah. How do you move forward, right? I'm going to get into that, but I'm laying the foundation because we may have to come back to this for another time or two, because it's so much to unpack. Because when we're at a place in our lives where we're still blaming others, then that means that we have not taken full responsibility, because we actually volunteered for things that have taken place. And now we want to blame others for the outcome when we were a part of the outcome. We were a part of the aftermath. We were a part of the destruction. Things don't fall apart by itself. People have a part to play in it. And part of that was you and me. So here is the place where I feel like singing Teddy Pendergrass song, right? I think I better let it go, 'cause it looks like another love TKO. Just let it go. What are you going to do? Now you're probably like, okay, well, Vera, answer this for me. Answer this question, Vera. How do I do that? How do I move on after what he did or after what she did? How do I move on? How do you move on? First of all, set boundaries. When you begin to feel yourself going there in a conversation, because have you ever been riding in the car with somebody? Okay, I'm going to come back to what I was saying. But have you ever been in a car with someone and y'all just talking about anything, right? And you may say, yeah, my grandmother, she used to make fried chicken, and she used to put it in a paper bag. And I mean, she would shake it up. And when she fried that chicken, it was so crispy. And here goes somebody. Yeah, my ex-boyfriend or my ex-husband, he used to make the best chicken, and he would add extra seasoning. Don't nobody want to hear that. Because your ex-husband been gone like 20-something years, and you still talk about it. Oh, I'm helping somebody right now. How have you moved on? And it's been 20 years. And you're still rehashing it. That allows people to know, guess what? Some of your friends and some of your family, they don't want to tell you, but you're still stuck in the past. Psst, psst, come a little closer. Got something to tell you. Let it go. Let it go of what you thought your life would be. It's over. It didn't go that way. It's a new day. Create new memories. Get yourself together. Ma'am, sir, please. Move on. Now, the reason why a lot of times you can't move on is because of the gift box. You see, the gift box is the portion where you open it up and it was something that you didn't expect to receive. That's the gift box. They came with the bags. You didn't know what they had in the bags. You accepted this person into your sphere, into your environment, and now, oh my God, you open up the gift box. It's stuff now that you don't want. It's stuff now that you're looking at like, thank you. You ever got a gift from someone? And you open it up, and if they're standing there, you're trying to make it seem like you're very excited. Like, oh my God, I always wanted a red pencil. But in your heart, you're thinking, and in your mind, like, what in the world? Why would they give me a red pencil? I don't like a red pencil. Sometimes in a relationship, you get a gift box. When you open it, it's stuff that you didn't want. It is stuff that you're looking at like, what is this? What is this madness? I'm going to act like I like it in front of them, but I don't like it. I really don't like it. So the gift box is all of the damage that's been done, right? All of the trauma, all of the things that I kind of broke down to you. It's just that kind of thing that you can say, what is this? I didn't ask for this. I didn't expect this. Why is this happening to me? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to come back, and I am going to answer that for you. This is your girl, Vera's radio show. Tune in where you will find out that there is so much laughter, oh my God, and relevant topics and discussions for days that's just going to make you say, what was I doing all this time with my life, because I tell you, I'm learning so much from Vera's radio show that is so filled with laughter. Check back in a few seconds. All right, y'all. I just took a break, but I wanted you to know that it is still a continuation of the conversation. And I know that for you out there in Facebook land, if you have any comments, you want to add anything to the dialogue as it relates to the conversation today, because the truth be told, we've all gone through something, and everybody's situation is different. And I understand that. But what's the same thing and what's the common denominator is the fact that we all have to move on. There are those that I see that are listening in to me right now. You may have lost a loved one, right? Because we're talking relationships can be anything. Relationships can be a part of, a family, things that you may have had a relationship with some of your friends or your family members, and now the family dynamic is broken because something didn't go right. Somebody got mad at somebody, and now you're not talking. I'm telling you, relationships, it is an endless discussion. Relationships can go on for days. If you are alive and breathing, if you have aunties and uncles and cousins and Jim Bob and Coon Pop and all of them, because those are some country names, then guess what? You are a dynamic of a relationship, and relationships is not easy. But what I will tell you is that when you look at someone who has lived long, right? Maybe you've seen a woman, she's in her hundreds and 80, 90 years old, and you ask them, what's the secret ingredient to long life? One of the things that I can honestly say is the fact that they probably let things go. They probably didn't hold on to a lot of nonsense like we do. Some of us are so stubborn. We're full of pride. We won't say we're sorry. We won't say, please forgive me, I made a mistake. We won't accept an apology. What is that going to do? What is it going to kill you to accept an apology? I'm going to share something on the radio in regard to accepting an apology. Just give me a second. How y'all doing out there? Let me know how everybody's doing today in the comments, because I want to see what's going on. I want to see what's going on. Well, hi there. Thank you for tuning right on back in with Vera's radio show filled with laughter and relevant topics and relationship discussions. I want to continue this discussion in regard to relationships and the gift of goodbye. And one of the things that I want to talk about is unpacking the bag. And we're talking about the gift box and how the gift box is filled with so much trauma and so many things that can make you feel like, I didn't ask for this. I don't think that I want to accept this. I know that I can do better. Or you hurt my feelings so bad, I don't know which way to go. In that situation, what do you have to do? Here's the key. Create new memories. You have to replace all of the trauma and all of the stuff that you've gone through with new memories. How do I know that? Think about it. Growing up, I can recall sometimes I didn't like maybe something that, and I can go, you know what, I'll do one better. Situation happened on yesterday. So a scenario happened where I was teaching my foster daughter a lesson. She wanted something, and I told her no, and she got a little upset over it, but I created a new memory because I gave her something else to think about in place of it. I gave her another scenario that may have played out better than the one that she wanted to do without giving away all of what was going on. Okay? So you have to create new memories, right? By developing new scenarios. And what do I mean by that? Oh, my goodness. Here's the key. Going back a little bit, I was telling you guys about the fact that when someone had came to me and apologized for something that they had did to me, I had the opportunity to accept it or reject it. And what I did was I accepted the apology, and I didn't accept it grudgingly. What does that mean? When you accept an apology, You don't be like, okay, well, I accept your apology, right? You can say, I accept your apology, because if you want to be forgiven, you have to show a person grace as well. You have to allow them to have the same commonality of receiving forgiveness as you would want it. Okay? So then moving forward, also, the fact is, it frees you. When you accept forgiveness and they accept your forgiveness, it frees you. It creates new scenarios. It develops new scenarios, and it changes the narrative. It changes the narrative, the plot, and the way that it comes out, the way that it all plays out. It changes everything. It changes the whole dynamic of the story. How do I know that? Because when you start to look at yourself as it relates to what part you played in a relationship, you'll begin to have a new narrative. The plot will be different. The way you look at the whole book and the whole story will be different. You will give them the grace and say, hey, I recall there was a lot of things that you did, but I recall there were things that I did too. But nevertheless, I feel like I understand, because of the place and the space that that person may have been in. As we develop and get older, people do some crazy stuff. We've all done some crazy stuff. Some stuff we can't even talk about. That was so crazy, we can't even talk about it. So it's almost like, okay, I want to let everything go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace all of what was. And that's a part of taking the bags, right? And the gift box, right? And getting rid of those things. It's just like clothes. Like I said, getting rid of the clothes. We tend to analyze. What should we keep? What should we hold on to? Right? What should we do with this? If you sit too long with the clothing or with the situation, again, your mind will continue to go back to what was. And you don't want to do that. So instead of doing that, how about you go ahead and take the stuff out and allow it to just go head on, put it out there for trash, and let the garbage man take it. When the garbage man takes the trash, right, the bags or the gift boxes, a couple of things happen. Some things, it ends up discarded, never to be seen again. Some things are recycled. Could be a relationship. Didn't work out with you, right? Oh, well, it could work out with someone else. And that's okay. What's that old phrase? One man's trash is another man's treasure. Well, I say, listen, what didn't work for you with that person may work better with someone else. It's just all about your perspective. Putting boundaries around your thought process and begin to get a different perspective about the entire situation. That is key. Everyone can tell you, if you've ever been in a relationship, if you talk to both parties that were involved, they're both going to give you a different perspective. One person may say, well, you didn't do such and such right. The other person may say, well, I didn't do that because I thought that you were going to do this, that, and whatever. Those are two people in a relationship together that see things totally differently, because they're two different people individually, but collectively they make a relationship with two different perspectives. Oh, that's good. I like that. Vera, that was good. Go ahead, Vera. That was a good one. Oh, I think I could just say, all right, Vera, that was good. That was good. That was good. I felt that in my shana, as they say. That was good. I mean, you cannot disagree with that. We do not think the same. We don't have the same growing up. We have different perspectives. We come up with different normalcies. You may have grown up in the suburbs. Someone may have grown up in the hood or wherever. Someone may have been in foster care. The other one had the mother and father. You'll never see things the same. But the thing that we can see the same is we all have to create new memories. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. You have to, as I don't know the name of the group, I think it's in Vogue. You have to free your mind. You have to free your mind. How does the song go? Free your mind and the rest will follow. I think that's in vogue. Yeah, I think all right. I think all right. You got to free your mind and the rest will follow. What is the rest? The rest is your narrative will change. The rest is things will begin to look different. It will be a clean slate. You won't compare people. If you free your mind, moving forward in relationships will not look the same. Okay, let me break it down for you. Let me break it down for you what I mean about it won't look the same. When you free your mind, you give yourself access to move forward in a new relationship if you choose to be in a new relationship, looking at that person as an individual with a clean slate. You will not compare. You will not have a side eye. You won't be looking at things like you're waiting for the shoe to drop. You're waiting for the person to change. You're waiting for them to act like who Boo Boo the Fool used to act. You will give that person a fair shot at being the right one for you in the season that you're in. Oh, I know that's good. I'm talking right? I'm talking right. I think I'll pat myself. Come on, y'all. I know that's good right there. You see, the freedom for me came when I began to look at that whole dynamic. When I freed my mind and I allowed myself to say, Vera, you cannot continue to hold yourself captive. You made mistakes. They made mistakes. Let them go. They're gone already in the physical. But in the mental state, in the cognitive, which is the mind. Come on, Vera. I took a few, psychology classes. All right. So free your mind. And when you get to that place, you can be very, 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 very good being in a space that people will not understand, the peace that surpasses all understanding. That will keep your heart and your mind. You will be unbothered. They use the terms nowadays, unbothered. You'll be unbothered by what has happened. If someone brings it up, you won't have the same response. That's how you know you're over a situation, when you have a different response to it. If you stay in the same space and you continue to hold on, you will continue to live in a place called despair, depression, doubt, and you'll just be in a place where your mind is still in a fog. So free yourself today. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Give the new person a new slate, a clean slate, to give them the opportunity to love you the right way without you comparing. Oh, he chewed his food just like he chewed his food like the other dude. I can't stand that. See, he chewed his food. Oh, he left-handed. See, you can't trust a left-handed person. I don't like him. Oh, I'm not even going to talk to him because he left-handed. And I know he can't be trusted because, see, Nick used to be left-handed. And see how he did me? Shut your mind up. Get rid of it. Let the lies of what you're telling yourself go. You need to have a conversation with yourself and say, you know what? You need to get yourself together. You need to stop with all this crazy thought. You need to turn your brain off because it's on 110. Release yourself. And let me talk about the last box, because the first thing was the bag, right, that we talked about. Now I'm all in the gift box, right? I'm all unwrapping the gift box, things you don't like, right? And how you deal with that. But the shoe box, why did I pick a shoe box? Because, you open up the shoes, oh, I bought these and you've gone here. I bought these at this and that and the third. I bought some specific shoes when I turned 50. And so when I open up that box, I can recall, oh, I remember where I wore these shoes at. And so a shoe box, it represents all the places in the memories of places you've gone with that other person. Oh my God. I'm going to sigh again. You see, let me explain to you what I mean by that sigh. I've been in a relationship with someone and all they did was talk about where they went with the other person. And it would just come up randomly. And they would talk about, if you ride down a specific road, they're off on a tangent about, and they didn't recall. And I believe that people do not do that intentionally. I believe that their mind is still back down memory lane. Y'all remember that song? I think Minnie Riperton made that song, Back Down Memory Lane. Sometimes it's not good to go back down memory lane. It's okay to go, but please don't stay down memory lane. Do yourself a favor and the new chick or the new guy a favor and let the memory lane stay there where it is. Because going back down memory lane lets the other person know that you're not ready for a new lane. It makes them feel like, well, if you are still down memory lane, why am I sitting here driving down the road with you when you're not ready for a new passenger? Oh, come on, Vera. Why am I wasting my time trying to be the co-pilot when evidently I'm not the co-pilot that you want? Oh, come on. It calls for us to have a transformed mind. Come on. The Bible talks about in Romans 12. Oh, I had to go Bible on you. Had to go Bible, right? Romans 12 and 2. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your what? Of your mind. Get it together. It's in the word for a reason. You can't go forward. You can't even go backward. You're stuck in neutral when your mind is not changed. You're stuck right there at the same place you used to go, probably have ice cream, or the same place you used to go and ice skate, same place you used to go roller skate, whatever it is. You cannot go forward if you still have that shoebox. Let that shoebox go. Give that box of shoes to somebody else that can have some new memories. Shoe boxes are just for the form. You're still walking. You're walking down memory lane. You're walking and you're talking about the same conversations that should not be if you're trying to move forward. And some of you that are single and in this time of the pandemic, you have really no one there with you. Now, sometimes you have some people have children still home with them, but we're not talking about the fact that you have a person in the house. I'm talking about relationship between a man and a woman is different than relationship with your children. But if you are praying in secret to the Father to bring you someone new, then you have to put the garbage out. Put all the garbage out. Garbage is put out because it's no more use to it. Am I right about it? Can I get an amen in the back corner? Come on, amen, amen, somebody. Garbage is put out because there's no more use for it. Garbage is put out because things get broken, you put it in the garbage. Things get worn out, they get tore up, you put it in the garbage. Some things you look at and say, I can't use it anymore, you put it in the garbage. So why not put this old relationship to bed? Why not have the eulogy and say, today, I'm going to release this thing. This I hear, this funeral is not for those that are living, it's for the things that are dead. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? This here is not for those that know that they want to go in a new direction. No, this is for those that are still stuck in the way. This message, this eulogy is for those that still decide, I want to be with somebody new, but I'm still stuck to what I used to be with. Come on now. It's time to say bye-bye. It's time to say good night, Irene. The fat lady has sung and everybody has left the building. Okay? It's time for you to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Release it. You can't get anything with your hand already balled up in a fist, you can't release anything. If you're harboring hurt in your heart and your heart is hardened, you cannot receive anything new. So here today lies at the feet, at the door, bags, gift boxes, and shoe boxes of dead things, memories of the past, broken relationships that you chose. Now you want to blame everybody else for what you chose. Now you talking about calling Tyrone when you was the one that took yourself over there. Come on now. It's time for us to get to the place where we take authority over it, where we take responsibility for the stuff that we got ourselves into and stop blaming others and move on. It's time for the gift of goodbye. Come on, can I get an amen? It's time for the gift of goodbye. No more tears. No need to cry because it's just time for the gift of goodbye. Can I get an amen? Can I get the choir to sing that? It's time for the gift of goodbye. Come on now. It's time for the gift of goodbye. No more crying. No more sighing. No more complaining, fussing, and cussing. It's time for the gift of goodbye. Come on, choir, I hear y'all in the back. It's time for the gift of goodbye. No more complaining. No more cussing and fussing. But it's time for the gift of goodbye. I feel my help coming this morning. I feel it in my shana. Come on now. Let that thing go. Enjoy the rest of your life, man. Don't allow anyone to live in your headspace rent free. It is time for the gift of goodbye. The gift that I'm giving you today with this word, with this conversation on Vera's radio show, I know it feel like it done turned into a church sermon because I feel it. I feel my help coming. But it is so, I tell you, so much of I want to say it behooves you to let that thing go. It's time for the gift of goodbye. No more crying, no more complaining, no more cussing and fussing. It's just time to let it go. It's just time to laugh about it. You have to laugh at some of the things I laugh at some of the things I got myself in. I laugh at the fact that I had to almost beat people up because of things I got myself into. I laugh at the fact that how I'm going to get mad when I seen the writing on the wall. Come on now. When I seen that old slew-footed devil wasn't no good, but I just had to be with him, right? And then look what happened. Then I want to get mad. Now I can laugh about it because it was my own fault. Now, so many of you out there, you might have an attitude with old Joe, and you might have an attitude with Karen and Katie and them, and Sue, Shaquita, Basima, and whoever. But you put yourself in that, and now you got to laugh at that and keep on going and say, you know what? Don't even bring it up anymore. If someone even mentions your past, after you've heard this radio show, you got to say, you know what? It's time for the gift of goodbye. They're going to be like, what you talking about? I ain't going to be fussing. I ain't going to be cussing. I ain't got nothing else to say. What I will do is I'll create some new memories. What I will do is I'll give someone a chance to come into my life with a clean slate, and I will look at them in all its purest form and allow things to unfold, because you never know what God has in store for you, and you'll never know it if you continue to hold on. You know, you remember the story about Lot? For those of you that know the word, you see the Lord sent the angel and told Lot, okay, because Sodom and Gomorrah, I don't want to go all down the rabbit hole, but Sodom and Gomorrah, honey, was a wicked old place. A whole lot of stuff going on, but we won't go all into that because this is not Bible study. This is Vera's radio show. And the fact of the matter is, the instructions was for Lot, the whole entire family, you're leaving. The place is burning down, and don't look back. But what happened? Lot's wife looked back. The story goes on that she turned into a pillar of salt. Now, for me right now, I'm saying that when you look at it, and I don't want to take anything away from the context, she turned into a pillar of salt. For me, that means, in my mindset, You're just frozen. You're stagnant. You can't move. You can't do anything. So even when you think that you moved on and you're talking to people in a new relationship, and in your mind, you're still maybe stuck. Could that be the reason why you haven't gotten the ring yet on your finger? Could that be the reason why that the woman won't call you back? Because there's something that you're doing that sometimes people won't tell you. But you got to start examining yourself. And that's what if I said anything that can make you feel like, well, dang, what did I get out of that? Examine yourself moving forward. You have all this time on your hands, because we ain't going nowhere, to think about, how do I look in front of others? How do I present myself to others? And then you may find there that, yeah, Vera was right. I have to do the gift of goodbye for Christmas. Let me give myself the biggest gift that I could ever give myself, and that's the gift of goodbye, but holding myself hostage to bags, to gift boxes, and shoes. Shoe boxes, for that matter. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in today. This is your girl. This is Vera's radio show filled with laughter, relevant topics, and relational discussions. All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed my show today. I hope y'all enjoyed listening to the radio show today. If you don't know about the radio show that I have, you can find me out there on Vera's radio show on anchor.com. And I really would like your support if you go on over there and just subscribe to my radio podcast. I'd really appreciate it. And, one of the things that I did, and I felt like God was pressing me to do this, was I have so many things. For those of you that follow me, I realized that the Lord has given me a broader platform than I thought I had. I started out in ministry, and I realized that my platform is bigger than just ministry in itself. I believe we live in a world, we live in a body, and we live in a natural state of having to deal with life on a day-to-day basis. And so I like to talk about things from a spiritual perspective and a natural perspective, which caused me to broaden my horizons and speak on various topics, whether it is relationships, as most of you know that I do. I also, for some of you that don't know, I do have a license in life coaching. It's not something I got out the Cracker Jack box. I worked for it. I went to school for it. I hold degrees. A lot of you don't know that about me. And so I felt going to the radio show podcast would give me a broader platform to display all of the things that I bring. I'm not only a person who likes to minister the gospel. I'm a person who enjoys speaking to people and helping them get to the next level, not because I have a piece of paper and it says that, but because I have walked through a lot of the things that I can talk about as a testimony to help somebody else. I also have a women's ministry where we talk about women's things all the time. Hey, I talk about hate flashes or hot topics on, how we feel, the mood swings and all that. It's a lot. The Lord has given me the gift to do that. And I'm not ashamed, and I will never, from this point on, make any apologies for what God has given me. So some people, which it doesn't matter who the some people are, I'm just using that as an example to say this. There are those that may say, well, what is she doing now? Well, she's all over the place. The truth is, I'm in the space that I need to be in. I'm just putting it all in one place, right? And I'm doing my live. I'm also doing the radio show because God has gifted me to do that. So please share a lot of my live posts. If you know anyone that's in relationships and is struggling and feeling lost and going through depression by themselves, or going through people feeling like no one will ever understand No one doesn't care or what I'm feeling. Am I crazy? What's going on? You need somewhere where you can find someone that can confirm, no, you're not crazy. This is what you're dealing with. This is what we all go through. But we're here together. We're not here to condemn you. Some people from a platform in church, they will, I would say, browbeat the people, but I've never been that kind of person. I have empathy for people. I have sympathy for people. I've done a lot of things in ministry, but I feel that the season where I can house everything is on my radio show. As I said, I do the live posts on Facebook. And I also do have a YouTube page that I have not posted anything in yet, but I will coming in 2021. So I will continue to regularly share things about relationships, about different topics for men and women. I have a passion to help people. And that is just the statement of what my life represents. It's not about, people say, well, you have to have a target. You just can't, everybody's out there. Well, I do have a target. Those that feel as though I can pour into them or I can share something that will make them snap out of wherever they are and say, you know what? I got to get up from here. What you're feeling is real, right? Being by yourself, no one understands what it's like. If you've never been single, people who have been married for 20 some odd years, they can't understand. They cannot relate to a person who is single today because their lifestyle doesn't look like a single person. A single person who is holding it down by themselves, man or woman, figuring out life, paying your own bills, right? Making decisions, sometimes making wrong decisions and having to clean up your own stuff with the grace and the help of God. So I believe that God has given me a platform. For years and years and years, I've done conference calls, praying and giving a message. But I believe in this season, we need to hear the word of God. That's true. But we need to hear the word of God and how does it relate? How does it intertwine to help me get through what I'm dealing with right now? That's my mission. I understand who I am. And so I wanted to share with you, for anyone that you know that is single, that is newly single, who have been the one that left a relationship or the person left you. That is trauma. It is a new normal. You deal with rejection, abandonment, shame. You deal with all these things that have built up on the inside of you, and you don't know where to go with it. And then there are signs that you don't understand or you don't even think that you're dealing with. Sometimes when you go through that and it's unexpected, you can't go into a depression and you can lose a ton of weight because you're not eating, you can't sleep, you're crying. Or you can do the opposite. What I did, you gain weight, right? You're just lethargic. You're walking around like a zombie. Not that you solely dependent on that person, but it's just because it was trauma that you dealt with and it happened abruptly. Almost like the COVID. The COVID crept up on us. And the COVID took us all by surprise. Now, if you're single and you were single before the COVID, and then when the COVID happened, it made you feel like, oh my goodness. Because at least a single person can get out, you can go eat, you can go drive places, or get on the train if you live in New York City, or different places where people like to get on the train and do different things, have a picnic in a park, go to the movies, all of those things that were at our fingertips. As single people right now, they are not there, and you need an outlet. So I build the platform. Come be a part of it. Help me, push me. There's relationship questions and concerns that some of you may have. Inbox me. I would love to have dialogue with you, to share. I'm not here to tell you, well, this is what you should do. I'm expressing myself through research and personal experiences of the things that I have gone through, the things that I have studied, and the things that I have walked through myself. To let you know that it will be all right, that you can make it to the other side. You know, when I first went through my horrific breakup, I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? This is the new normal for me. Oh my goodness. All of the insides was just jumping. It was like butterflies in my stomach. I was scared. I was afraid. Yeah. Pastor, being afraid, scared. Yeah. Do I believe in faith? Do I believe in God? Yes. I was still nevertheless afraid of what was life going to bring me, because I had never been in that place. So if you have comments, any questions or concerns as it relates to any relational questions that you have, shoot me a message or even buy my book. My book has helped a lot of people, because when I first got into the single world, there was no manual. You know, they tell you 5 steps to get a man, 8 steps to this. You know, I talk about that all the time. Like, how do you do that? No, you need to work on you. You need to first declutter, right? Get rid of the bags, the gift boxes, and the shoe boxes. Until you do that, you're going to walk around and you're going to hurt people. You're going to bleed all over other people. And that person, somebody may walk into your life and may be the right person, but you're not the right person at that time because you haven't worked on you. And this is what my conversations are always about, trying to help dig someone else out of a ditch that I've already been in. If I've helped any of you out there, hit me up with some hearts. If I've helped any of you that are watching me right now and you have watched my replays, shoot me some hearts. Let me see some thumbs up. Let me see some hearts. If I have helped you in any way, shoot me some hearts to let me know, listen, you not agree with everything I say, but you had your own experience and you had to walk through some things on your own. Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Jeanette. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you, ladies out there. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You know, all things do work together for the good. If in this time of COVID, we did not have social media, even with social media, there are a lot of people who are committing suicide, who are self-harming themselves, who are turning to alcohol, sex, all that kind of stuff. It's so much going on, but it feels good to have a community of people of like-mindedness, not to have a support group where you talk about your situations and you just have a pity party. No, I am a person that will cheer you on. I'm a person that will say, okay, we could talk about what has happened to you, but now let's talk about the solutions on how we can get you out the ditch so you can keep it pushing, right? So anyway, I thank y'all for tuning in and listening in. Shout out to all of you that took the time to listen to the conversations that I have. I so appreciate you. Thank you, Queen Khadij. I love y'all to life. Enjoy y'all day. This is a great, great day to be alive. There's some people who didn't make it today. But y'all know what I talk about. Learn all you can. Grow as you go. Why? So you can date on purpose. And that's what this is all about. Happy Friday to you. Enjoy y'all day. Rock out for the rest of the day. And be good.